Hey everybody, so today we're going to talk about whether I've already made a massive mistake with my Vinted store. Um, we got an offer in yesterday and it was quite an interesting sale to say the least. I want to talk about whether it was a good idea, a bad idea, and whether and how we're going to use this sale to actually further advance what we're doing, because this isn't like about making money at the moment. This is about how we're scaling and using what we've got to grow. I'm not going to mess around. I'm just going to go straight into what sold, and then we'll talk about it after. So this is going to be our orders. You're really going to have to bear with me this time. You're probably thinking, why? The piles, eh. But anyway, somebody bought Supergirl, assuming the new movie helped. And then somebody bought they bought get them in order because OCD. They bought Blood Hunt Redman number 2, number 3, number 4 second print, and number 5. Okay, so that was 2 of the orders. Please bear with me. Oh God. Oh Jesus. Okay. Oh. Oh God, no. Ah. Right. And this was our 3rd order. So it is. What is it? It's like 67 comics or something like that. And I know I normally do my pricing of £2 each. Then discounts of 5, 10, 25% of 2 more, 3 more, 5 more. But this person was like, if I take more than 50, will you do them for £1 each? And I'm like, I wasn't quite there with £1 because in my head I was like, well, yes, it's a bit slower, but they're shifting at £1.50 to £2 each. Why would I rush to get them all out for that low a price? Why would I go 50% off? And there probably is advantages of that in the future. I just don't think 50 was enough for this. So we met in the middle, and I said 125 for this lot. So then it came to like 87.55 or something like that. But we'll go through them now. The order of them is probably going to be a little bit wild, but we'll do it. So we've got some Thor issues. And the worst bit about this is I just showed off my store with 500 listings yesterday. Now people are going to click that and go, liar. It's back to like 400 or something like that after this. But yeah, then he took Avengers, like I said. Well, actually, not this Avengers run, but you see, he took Defenders. It just seemed like everything was fair game. The only, I guess, not mistake, but the only criticism I've had about me accepting the offer on this bundle was that everything listed here was either newly listed, and I want to say the oldest one listing here was only 3 weeks old. I maybe should have just pushed it a little bit higher on it for that reason, because some of them barely got a chance to really see. So much of these are from the bundle we bought just the other day. So that's already gone, practically. But yeah, sorry. I wish I'd just, if in some of the comments that had sat there for a few months, you'd be a bit like, well, okay, yeah, it's gone now, it's cleared, new inventory coming in, but he's kind of taken the cream off the top, I suppose. Which I guess, like, when you look at the store, pushes the older stuff back to the top again, but I think when you're casually just looking through Vinted, I'm now not going to shop for a little while, except for the new listings. So again, Fantastic Four being gone. Oh God, it's all falling over here. And they took the Battle Worlds. They're gone. New Avengers are all wiped out. And then so let's try to speed this process up a little bit, because I talked about the Jed Mackay. Ooh, don't go anywhere. Avengers run. Like, yeah, I'm gonna do this. You know, they're all gone. Not all gone, because we'll go over that in a bit. I suppose, an advantage of this lot being sold though is that I haven't brought them through, so we'll skip that bit for today. But my relisting today, 17 of the 60 or so here had duplicates. So I guess like that clears that out. It's one of my few things with Vinted, is that I can't list duplicates because I guess it's because Vinted isn't primarily for business. I guess I know they have Pro, which I've not done yet, but that's the only. It's not designed for it. That's not what it was meant to be about. But I think it's time they kind of accept that a bit of their revenue is going to come from that. And yeah, more Avengers. They just completely. I sensed a theme here that they were really into their Avengers. So with selling a single comic for £2, the 4 comics for £7.20, and this for the 87 or whatever, that puts us at about the £95 mark for a day. It's fine. And yes, did we make full margin on this big bundle of comics? No. A lot of these would have cost me. So the thing is, the range of these of what they cost me would be between 37p, because there's some that I got in a lot for like 25p each, plus a bag of board. And I want to say the top end of this is that they cost me 70p. So we're still talking the average is 55 to 60 pence. And I sold them all for 125 each. No fees for Vinted. That's just purely at least doubles my money. So once I've gone through all these, X-Men also wiped me out of X-Men, which is a shame because I've been something I was trying to build up. But yeah, then we've got Avengers Empire, and lastly they wiped me out of my Doom, which again I have a funny feeling the recent Doomsday announcements have influenced this too. I mean, it is a cool cover. What's he, Sorcerer Supreme or something in this? I don't know. It looks cool. So, what was the pros and cons of making that deal? Well, since recording all that, he's actually come back to me again and says he'd like to buy another 60. So, will we go ahead with that? So, the 3 sales we did, right? I've got it here on my phone because I've said random numbers before. I don't think that was quite right. It looks like we made £92.95, and we sold 72 comics for that. I'm gonna literally take that money, right? And I've already made the order. I've bought I bought 30. Did I buy 30? Yes, I bought 30 blind bags from Forbidden Planet. So I guess I know that was a bit risky, because we don't know if they're actually good comics or bad comics. I just want to open them up in front of you guys and see what there is. Bought a couple of their sales comics as well. They were like £1.05 each, but each one I think is going to either someone's going to pick up straight away for £2 and I'll make a little something off it, or someone's going to include it in a bundle and pick up old stock. I'll show you them when they come in. But that's just more of an experiment to see what we can do to boost sales. And that bundle came in at, let me just double check because it's all on here. So I spent £75.44. So actually, we'll forget about the 2 smaller bundles. That 67 comics was £83.75 for the 67, and then we spent £75.44 to get 129 more. Yes, we'll need bags and boards for them, so it will slightly creep past that. But we've turned 67 products into 129, and that's how we're going to continue to scale. The other advantage is, I wanted to show you all these, which is what I'm going to list today. This is what I'm going to focus on listing today. All these, some more Blood Hunt, more New Avengers, Strike Force, Avengers, that wraparound sort of X, they're duplicates. So we've not lost that much in terms of our range of stock. If anything, we might increase it. I know there could be duplicates in this bundle that we've got, but I think it's a step forward. If he buys another 60, I might try, hopefully see that he buys the older listings. I definitely don't think I'll let him buy the new Forbidden Planet ones that come in that I've just bought for £1.05, because then that will be pointless. But he kind of said he already knows his 60. But that's why I said this time. I said it doesn't have to be above 50, it has to be above 60. So then we're talking at least another £75, which we could then do this again. So we're now saying that we could turn 120 comics into 240. But we probably won't do this again. It depends. We might open these and get some real hits and sell a lot of it. But we're also going to get some indies in there as well, aren't we? That I'll know nothing about, and I know they'll move a bit slower. Like, as much as we can love indie, we have to admit it moves slower. But we'll talk about that more fully another day. The only disadvantages I'm starting to see, though, is that I've got a model that I'm building towards, and it's about sell-through rates. We've been talking about how, let's say you have 100 listings and you want to achieve a 10% sell-through rate, which is about, I think from what I've told, is like about a lower average successful business might achieve 10% sell-through rate. So if you have 100 listings every month, you would hope to achieve 10% of your sales. And although a sale like this makes our sell-through rate very high, one of the things we need to achieve is we need to actually increase our listings to outpace our sales, so that when we increase our listings, our sell-through rate, although if it stays the same, sales in theory should increase every month. So month one is, for example, 100 comics at a 10% sell-through rate should in fact be at least 10 sales. So you increase your listings and you get to 200 the next month. So then your sales are 20%. Sorry, your sales are still 10% sell-through rate, but you sell 20 comics. And so that's the model we're trying to build towards. I want to say I want my sell-through rate to be at least 10%, but we're going to, again, that's something else we'll talk about a different day, in fact, even tomorrow, because I've basically been tracking this for a full month now as of the end of today. So I'll show you what my sell-through rate is and explain it a bit more then. But a big hit like this at not the full price is affecting scale. If I had sold them all at 150, I maybe wouldn't be so affected by this. But the fact that I made a little bit of a sacrifice in cash to slow this down is probably a slight negative. And the other negative that I said earlier was him not taking the oldest listings. That's something I'm going to really try to push him to do if he does make another sale. But, you know, the thing is, if someone came along and said, I'll buy all your comics for £1 each, my profit on that margin would be very little, because as I've said, we'll make maybe 30 to 40p comics, so what, we'd make £200 profit maybe off all that. But I would just take that £500 and buy 2,000 comics with it, 1,500 comics with it, sorry. So I guess that wouldn't be the worst thing. We'll just keep reinvesting to increase our stock to help scalability. We've definitely got the backlog in stock to continue to scale. Committing a little bit of time to this doesn't help, but hopefully this will all pay off in the long run. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, if it was a good idea to go for the sale or it wasn't a good idea to go for the sale, and what do you think the product should be: cash flow, scalability, achieving full margins, Should I have let it just all sit and eventually just got 150? Love to hear your thoughts. But if you just like, subscribe, and follow along for the next one, we'll see where we end up next.